Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God. In the 19th century, he was as well known and admired as Mother Teresa is today, and for all the same reasons. Born in 1840 in the little village of Tremelo, Belgium, he was baptized Joseph de Veuster, but his family called him Jeff. A farm boy, he knew all about raising animals and growing crops, and he loved working with his hands, skills that would serve him well later in life. Joseph had an older brother who was a priest and two sisters who were nuns. His favorite sister died during a typhus epidemic while nursing the sick and dying. He wanted to follow in their footsteps and live a life of service. Specifically, he wanted to become a priest, but no seminary would accept him. His manners were a bit crude, and his book learning was limited by the fact that he could not master the Latin language. Since all college courses were taught in Latin in those days, priesthood seemed out of the question. Eventually, a religious order in the nearby city of Leuven did accept him. He entered the congregation of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary, and when he took his vows, he took the name Damien, in honor of an early Roman Christian known for serving the sick and dying. In 1873, his brother the priest was scheduled to sail off to Hawaii to do missionary work. When he fell ill and couldn't make the trip, Damien begged to take his place, and his superiors agreed. Once in Hawaii, the local bishop there decided to ordain him, and Brother Damien became Father Damien. There in Hawaii, thousands of native men, women, and children were becoming infected with another one of those imported white man's diseases, leprosy, today known as Hansen's disease. Fear and terror of this highly infectious disease resulted in hundreds of lepers being torn away from their families by the health officials. They were sent to a leper colony on the island of Molokai. Life there was miserable and degrading. After months of pleading, Father Damien finally persuaded the bishop and his superiors to allow him to go there, to serve the lepers, to be their priest on a permanent basis. What he found on the island was appalling. No doctors, no hospital, no crops, no church. Mostly chaos, with many lepers exploiting one another and many living like animals. Over the next few years, Father Damien built homes, a hospital, orphanages, and several chapels. He organized the growing and harvesting of crops. He said Mass, heard confessions, anointed the sick and dying, buried hundreds of people each year, and was pastor to his people in every sense of the word. Thanks to newspaper and magazine articles written by journalists such as Robert Louis Stevenson, Father Damien was well known in his day, a superstar in fact, and many people in Europe and in America sent money to Molokai to help pay for his work. Father Damien's people knew he not only respected them, but genuinely loved them. He often told them, Christ came not to cure every blind person, but to tell the blind that in his mind they see the light. Christ came not to cure every leper, but to tell the leper that in his eyes they are clean and pure. Over the years, more than 60% of the lepers of Molokai asked to be baptized. Father Damien himself contracted leprosy in 1885. He was now Father Damien, the leper priest. He died of the disease at age 49 in 1889. 50 years after his death, his body was exhumed and moved to Belgium, to the Church of St. Anthony in Leuven, the town where he first made his religious vows. All signs of leprosy were gone, except for the missing toes of one foot. He was beatified by Pope John Paul II in 1995 and canonized by Pope Benedict XVI in 2009. He is now Saint Damien of Molokai, Saint Damien the leper priest, and his feast day is celebrated on May 10th. St. John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever.